Greetings and salutations, folks. We're back in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, fighting our oldest longtime foe, the Bandit. Oh, that was the 100th assassination. Congratulations, me. Now, there's absolutely no reason for me to be all the way up this high. Although, let's see if I can do that teleport assassination move to make it a little bit easier to get all the way down. Can I? The answer seems to be no. Oh. He's climbing the ladder. And thusly, the counter resets.
Is anyone there? I'm trapped!
There you go.
I never thought I would get out of there. You saved me. Thank you.
Truly, Cassandra, a hero to the people. And do they care? It looks like they care a little bit. Who am I chaining the attack to? Oh. There's this guy over here. I suppose until whatever that Japanese samurai game that I think, is it Insomniac that's making it? Until that game comes out, this is going to be the closest I'll get to fighting a duel in a field of wheat. And I probably should deal with the person who's firing arrows at me before worrying about this big tough guy. There we go. I wonder if I can knock him towards the sea. Because they can't swim. Eventually, or is the surf going to eventually collect us? Oh, no. They can swim. So just specific people can't. And you, sir, or madame, it's hard to tell. Shall be killed. Can I loot in combat? No, I cannot. You will drink nothing tonight, for you will be dead. Also, this guy doesn't really have... Nope. I was gonna say, he doesn't really have much means of defending himself. And there he goes. That almost seemed like it was a censored kill. Because it was kind of like behind things. Also, this game gives you a lot of different weapon types, but I find that I just end up using whatever happens to be dealing the most damage. I think the intent of the game is to use maybe like a slower weapon type that does more damage on specific enemies, and then maybe a faster weapon type on other enemies. But I still haven't really seen any specific bad guy that requires one over the other. I just go with whatever does the most damage, regardless of whichever weapon it is. And usually, I don't know, it's kind of a... you could argue that's a little bit of a mistake, because I'm basing it on damage per second values. And faster weapons are going to have a higher... might have a higher damage per second value, but each individual hit might not do as much damage, whereas this staff is probably going to do a lot more damage per hit than my daggers. But I don't really care that much about the finer things of combat detail. If it gets the bad guys killed, big numbers generally tends to do that for me. Always go for big numbers. Some orichalcum. Oh, I didn't even know I could lunge. Just 15 hours of gameplay and just learned I could lunge while swimming. Who knows? Actually, I shouldn't really complain that much. As like I just recently saw a clip from a stream somebody did, in which they were playing Breath of the Wild. And for some reason, whatever method they took it to traverse the dungeons, the challenge dungeons, they ended up in the one where they teach you how to parry, like, after, like, 100 hours of gameplay. So, learning how to lunge after, like, 15 hours of gameplay while swimming, that's not so bad. But the reason why I'm here on this particular island is I'm here to kill the cultist who resides here. They're on the northern part, so I figure I might as well bounce back and forth between the unknown locations on my way there. Like this ruined sanctuary of Ajax Cleaner, which likely is filled with bandits? Of course, it's filled with bandits. And how about... Yeah, and I didn't parry that time. Let's try it again. There. Nope, I parried and dodged. Why? Yeah. That went really, really well. And now there are no more bandits. In this place. There are plenty of bandits outside of this place. But in this place, 0 bandits. A tomb of the Ajax cleaning supply. I'm sure the word Ajax refers to... refers to something in Greek mythology. Oh, hello. Let's charge in, and there we go. So now only two remain. Ah. Okay. Now just the poison weapon guy. Yeah, it probably helps to dodge first, and then worry about doing my heavy attack. Nope. Maybe I shouldn't try to learn how to parry in the middle of a fight. Just saying. I mean, like, I can barely dodge, so... There we go. Yeah, that is not a good way to go. Although, really, is there a good way to go? Maybe when you're, like... 100 and in your sleep. That's probably the only good way to go. Wasn't there something for me to loot in here? Oh, find the ancient slate. Hmm. Ah. Alright. Ah. Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes? Yeah. Is it just me, or have I seen this kind of setup before? Like, that island towards the beginning of the game that had some secret that I could not actually get to. That looks like it has spikes, if I had to guess. Hmm. Now, in theory, if that thing wasn't blocking the way, I'd be able to slide underneath. But considering the spikes, I probably wouldn't be able to get to the point where I could break that. And yes, I just narrowly dodged some spikes through extreme skill and not through ignorance, I swear. Huh. Okay, so there's... three paths to go on. Oh. So this go out of the building, just from a different direction? Potentially, the answer to that question is yes. Or, alternatively, the answer is no, and it actually goes deeper into the building. Which somehow makes sense? Ah. This is something else. Find ancient stele, not ancient slate. I can't read. Huh. But what does that mean? Why was it there? What did it do? And who the hell are you? Okay, so I figured out two things. One is that plaque or whatever thing that I just interacted with, it gave me an ability point, an extra ability point outside of normal level and experience gains. Two, we are currently engaged in the Peloponnesian War, of which, in history, Athens surrenders. So if I really wanted to pick a side, and if I wanted to pick the winning side, then I would want to side with Sparta because they won. Though it wasn't just Sparta fighting the war, there were other people involved. Oh, snake! Okay. So now that I've got that cleared up, let's get the hell out of here and move on. Now, the main reason I'm here is because there's this target. Bryson. Doesn't look like he's going to be that big of a deal. Oh, damn it. Okay, I acted a little bit sooner than I wanted. But now I've got to confirm the kill.
I'm coming for all of you.
And I can leave. I hope you guys didn't mind my sudden appearance. Carry on defending that quarry from evil. Although I suppose I should make one note.
I need to stay hidden.
Is that Athens wasn't destroyed, clearly, as they surrendered. So they carried on. Sparta eventually was destroyed, based on what I read, by an earthquake. But I guess that's what happens when your entire civilization is just one city. So I've got one last task I have to do for Pericles? Hercules? Before I get into a symposium? And then find out where Cassandra's mother is? And then that moves the plot? In theory. Let's find out. It's usually never that simple.
You must be the one Pericles sent.
I am.
Yeah,
He said there was
Pericles,
an
not
ostracism
Pericles.
vote, but didn't tell me what I'm here to do.
Of course he didn't. That's what I'm for.
If someone is exiled, can they return?
If they do, they'll be punished.
Yeah, that's the point of being
What does someone
exiles.
have to do to be ostracized?
Anyone seen as a threat to the city or the people is enough. And then it is up to the vote. Some have been ostracized for simply being more disliked than the person they're up against.
What's my role in this?
The votes have already been cast. We don't have long before they're counted. Take the Ostraka in this bag and exchange them with the ones currently under guard.
You want me to rig the ostracism?
Pericles does. And he has his reasons, I'm sure. Bring me the bag you took from the room and I'll take care of the rest.
No one will see me go in or out. Stay here.
Because I have proven myself the quietest of the quiet. The sneakiest of the sneaks. The stealthiest of the stealths.
Greek world. You wouldn't think the city was besieged by an army of Spartans.
People will say, "What was that in the shadows over there?" And then they'll get a response, silence. Alright, so let's see where this... where this Ostra bag is that I need. Because there's me, carefully hidden. Is that a statue or a person? That's a statue. See, other assassins would be like, that's probably a person, and go stab it first. Not I. I'll do reconnaissance. Significant reconnaissance? Eh, not that significant. Just significant enough to get the job done. Oh, so there's 2 locations for me to get to. Ah, damn it. So there's one. And now the other one is way over there. Now, in theory, it's probably easier for me to just leave the building. And then circle around and find a way in from here. Like maybe just climb up the outside, where that guy cannot see me. And is there a drop down? No, there's not. Oh, hello.
Someone over there?
No, I assure you, nobody was over there. You must have seen a ghost. So there appears to be a way in over there, but there's a guy blocking the way.
Better check that out.
Yep. Definitely something... he just climbed... He just leaves. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
That should do it. I should let Pericles' contact know.
Okay, so that technically worked. It wasn't the cleanest. But it worked. And nobody saw me. Several people died just so that Pericles could rig the vote. Which makes him seem more like a thug than the leader of a democracy. But maybe he should have hired somebody else to do the job. Some other Misthios, per se.
It's done.
You work quickly.
What are you going to do with them?
Dump them in a well. Ah, it looks like the official has arrived.
The votes have been tallied. Overwhelmingly, the people have decided that Anaxagoras should be ostracized from Athens.
You know, if they wrote the wrong thing in there, then...
But once you do, continue firm and constant. It will be more difficult for me now that Anaxagoras must leave Athens. We were quite close, although he and Pericles were much closer. It's strange, Pericles wasn't here today to defend him.
Would Pericles normally defend someone?
A good friend? Of course. Yet, Anaxagoras seems pleased with the result.
Huh.
This day has brought more questions than answers.
So it's a good thing that he's been
You said you were close.
banished?
He was like a mentor to me. Many of my best thoughts
Ah,
came to
Socrates.
fruition through our conversations.
Who are you?
Ask anyone and they'll tell you Socrates. But a name gives you nothing. Our actions determine who we are, and every action has its pleasures and its price. With that said, then, who do you claim to be?
My name is Cassandra.
And still, I don't feel I know you. Perhaps I can find out who you are a different way.
You want to know me?
Knowledge is the one good in this world. Surely you agree?
Drachma is pretty important, but you have to know who your enemies are, and if you don't know who the Cult of Cosmos is, then all the money in the world
course.
does you no good.
Knowledge drives everything I do.
Then we are the same in that way.
Knowledge of when to attack, what weapon to use, or when to use reason instead of violence.
We seem to put our love of knowledge into practice quite differently.
I use it how I need to.
You are clearly someone who would do whatever you feel is necessary. Perhaps for drachmi, or maybe to further a personal goal.
That describes a lot of people.
I suppose.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
curious
pretty
why you
general.
did it. How could I not be when you're the
You
reason
either
my
do it
friend
for
has
money
been
or you
forced
do it
to
for
leave
yourself.
The only home he's ever known.
I did what I was asked to do.
And your needs are greater than those of the man you helped ostracize. Still,
Yes.
you raise a fine point.
I am player 1.
Who is more responsible? Anaxagoras for getting himself mixed up in this, or you for simply sealing his fate?
Am I like, okay, let's say if things are much colder and more easier to find. Let's say somebody hires me to kill somebody. Am I I take responsibility for my
I'm
actions.
more responsible, but I did it because I have one concern: myself.
Then I hope you also think about today, about Anaxagoras, about choice.
Socrates, there you are.
Here I am.
You're late. They're all waiting for you.
I wish to see Anaxagoras' fate, and so I have. Tell them I'm on my way. Well, it's
I have absolutely no reason to be in this story, but I existed at this time, so here I am.
I wouldn't know. That's everything Pericles wanted. Time to return to him and find out what these Athenians know about my mother.
Cassandra, it's you!
Phoebe!
Okay.
You promised we'd see each other again, and now we have.
I also said, stay out of trouble.
Which I have.
And what are you doing here?
Okay, almost out of trouble.
How did you even get here, Phoebe?
Well, I did make some drachmae working for Marcos.
So you paid someone to bring you to Athens?
Not exactly.
Phoebe...
I needed a drachmae for when I arrived. I couldn't use it all to leave, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I sneaked on a ship. Don't worry, nobody saw.
I just can't believe you made it.
I don't remember much of Athens from when I was a baby. But every once in a while, something feels familiar. It's nice.
I actually didn't expect to see her again.
I can't
Does this
believe
mean
you're
I'll see
here.
Marcos
Me
again?
either. I can't believe we both made it to Athens. It's so much different from Kefalonia.
But what are you doing here?
I'm here to get you ready. I have to make sure you leave all your weapons and change into these
She's
clothes.
working for Pericles?
So
Pericles?
somehow work here
Pericles?
for Pericles.
No, for Aspasia.
I don't understand why I have to change.
It's just what you do here. I felt weird at first, but you forget about it pretty fast.
And my weapons?
Don't worry, I'll take care of them. We don't want to scare people in there.
Well,
Well, what if I want to scare the people in there? How are you working for them anyway?
I did get into a little bit of trouble after I got to Athens. I may have been a leader of a small group of orphans that tried to cheat Aspasia. We didn't know it was her, though.
and you convinced her to hire you.
No, she asked me on her own.
That was lucky. I think I'm ready
All
to
right,
go in.
let's get this done.
Not like that, anyway. The Athenians like it best when you try to fit in. But don't worry, I have just the outfit for you.
Another game of dress up.
I'll get changed. Promise you'll take care of my things?
Yep. Leave your weapons in the corner, and I'll come back when you're done.
I feel uncomfortable in this.
Now you look like everyone else.
You say that like it's a good thing.
It is. If you want them to take you seriously, this is the easiest way. Trust me.
If you want to blend in, look fashionable.
Don't worry. You've done scarier things than this.
I'm struggling to think of any right now. Are you sure I can't keep just one weapon with me?
No weapons. Now hurry and go in. Oh, and don't leave without saying bye.
I'll try to hold back. So we got Pericles, he's right over here. I don't even have to walk that far. Oh no, it's just Herodotus.
Traveler has finally made her grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotus! Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people
I suppose not. Yeah.
They will.
Although I don't need to love him. I just need to appear that I'm having a good time.
Appearing trustworthy is the most important part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongue.
What's in that bowl that I just snatched?
Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind
That's
of
actually a requirement to become a writer. It's not about grammar or style. It's about how far you can throw stones. That truly determines the mark of wit.
It looks more like a lover's quarrel to me.
Hermippos has also written his fair share of comedies. You should drink more. Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works.
Is that just a giant cup of wine?
Protagoras is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
I'm not sure great is the term I would use.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachos. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me...
So I got all dressed up for nothing?
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him.
Clearly I overdressed.
Protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
I clearly overdressed. And am far too sober to enjoy this party.
Let's not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
This is going to be a long night. Party should be about vomiting up blood, not vomiting up poetry. These people are so clean.
If these guests aren't to your own unique tastes, then just focus on why you came here in the first place.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your brother said.
Agreed. Pericles needs to know. I'll stay here and look for clues.
I hope they know something about your mother.
Me too.
And so it isn't the rich and powerful, but the gods who are the source of justice?
What? No! Have you been listening to nothing I say?
Let's see what these lovebirds are up to. Are those sheep noises?
Open this door or I'll kick it in!
No, don't mind her. She likes to watch. Ooh. Look at you. Such authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone
I suppose I did, but let's...
Distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
I thought this party was tame even by Athenian standards. Until now.
Let them have their meeting of the minds. I'm more interested in meeting other parts.
Ali, we're out of oil again.
Ali?
You know they like you when they give you a pet name. There's more olive oil in the kitchen, but Aspasia keeps complaining about me walking unencumbered through her symposiums.
You mean naked?
It sounds so good when you say it.
After your display earlier, it's probably safer I get the oil.
Obedient, too. I knew I liked you. Don't take too long.
Alright, as long as I don't have to grease him up when I come back. Let's see, so where is the...
I suppose you've come in here to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
I don't even know who you are.
I've seen lots of fights. That wasn't one.
I really made a fool of myself this time, didn't I? I'm Sophocles, though I'm sure you knew that. And you are?
I am looking for information that'll help me find someone. A Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens.
Hmm.
Intriguing. Though, if you
I
expect me
probably
to know
shouldn't
someone
mention
other
my
than
own
myself,
relation to this
you
person
expect
because
me
I'm
to
in
know.
Athens.
You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous Xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
So we get him drunk and he talks. He sounds more Argiv than Athenian.
Impressive foreigner. Euripides is from Argos.
All right.
Ah.
Nothing else. This party could use the help.
You need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I'm the greatest dramatist in the land, mentor to Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over Euripides. You sure you're just friends?
I'm never just anything, foreigner. Though I confess, Euripides and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood. Why he slams it?
Were these the people that
Propaganda,
were talking about
Aristophanes,
plays?
I will never know.
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
Alright.
Save for that arrogant playwright. I don't see many distinguished guests in here. Can I help you with something?
I'm here for your sweet wine.
Yes, take it. But get out of my kitchen. I'm very busy, you know.
Yeesh. Alright. But I also need your olive oil. because I need to grease somebody up. Very, very important.
Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the oil?
You've grown up in Pericles' home, and yet you're so different.
No one is like Pericles, and he's only slightly more serious than usual, too. Athens is under siege, and he worries for her future. Which is why tonight is a fine time to celebrate what may be our last taste of freedom.
When you walked in, you seemed like you and Socrates were...
How I wish you were right. One day we will have that man in here with us. I promise you that.
Here's your oil.
We're saved! Today, these women grieved for their sons, and these men worked the wall. But tonight, we forget all of that. Let's have some fun! What do you say? Care to join us?
Time for
Sure, why not? You live only once. Might as well have a group orgy to the flavor of olive oil.
Gladly. If you like, we can feed them to the goat.
There's another goat?
Now, it's time for you to help me, Ali.
Okay.
All business right until the end. I like that.
Focus. I'm looking for a woman who fled Sparta a long, long time ago.
Fled Sparta? No one flees Sparta. But let's pretend she did. If she were stupid, she'd be dead. If she were smart, she'd do what Aspasia did. She'd earn her independence. The smartest.
Wait, so Aspasia also fled Sparta.
I've ever met have been in Corinthia.
Theatera. I've heard they play some sort of role in Corinth, but I assumed it was the same as any other city.
Oh no. These women are unlike any other you'll meet. A force, and the only ones there with any smarts. Ali! Come back inside! Ooh, the celebration continues. When you reach Corinth, find Anthusa. No one goes in or out of the city without her knowing. Until we meet again, warrior.
Anthusa in Corinth. It's not much, but it's a start.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.